Greetings! Let me turn the mic down so I don't get the reverb. Greetings, warriors! Welcome to the wake! Hey, how'd you guys enjoy that abomination of a movie? The Doc killed it last night, thank God. Well, he should have killed the movie, but it was a great job and it was hysterical. And I gotta say, Jonathan, with all you're going through this week, first of all, guys out there, right? Warriors, patients, us fans of WON. John Rios' mom, who is in the ICU, and she's not doing fantastic, but she's doing a lot better than they thought. So just put this out there, right? Even though we do a horror show, right, and all that, but my prayers are out there for you. I actually, put mom in my prayer book, and we'll be thinking of you guys, And if you need anything, right, call me, right? I'll do what I can. A lot of times it's not going to be much, but I'll do what I can. And, all the blessings towards her. All right, now, what'd you think about Curse of the Swamp Creature? Okay, so this is one of about 4 films that were American International pictures. And a lot of them were supposed remakes, right? And, and just needed to get something on TV. Because back then, you had the movie of the week and things like that. They don't do that anymore, right? Because there's so many platforms out there that, how often do you actually see a movie on ABC, CBS, or, NBC? Yeah, or Fox, right? You don't. It's all shows. But, back in the day, when these movies were popular, right, they were churning them out left and right, And then they would go from TV and then to the drive-in, right? And this is a perfect drive-in movie, right? I mean, you got to admit, right? And I get a kick out of it, right? And I loved how the Doc was every time he had one of his co-host sidekicks, right? He was having them dropped into the alligator pit. That was hysterical, right? The doctor, he reminded me more of an accountant than a mad scientist, right? Doc Dredd, he looks like a mad scientist, right? But I thought it was hysterical. I enjoy these kind of movies, and trust me, you have another abomination coming up next week, and let me bring that up. That is It's Alive. Same crew made the movie, right? And where is my image? Let me bring that up. Right now, I just watched that on Monday or Tuesday this week, right? I had it on Tuesday night where I was watching it. I got to watch it again, make my notes, right? But trust me, I'm going to be digging a lot to make this palatable. Let me tell you, right? And basically, right, just so you know, it's a family gets lost in the woods, right? And then guy takes him in and torture, right? And how many movies have you seen like this? Like Manos, right? Which John, right? Not to put any pressure on you. I know it's been a rough week, but come on. We got to get Manos. We have to get Manos and Plan 9, right? We have to have the worst of TV movie week one of these times, right? And what I would enjoy us doing, right, is if we did Plan 9 from Outer Space, right, and Doc, we did it Misty style, MST3K style, right? That would take a heck of a lot longer for us to do, right, when we do it, but maybe we could talk about that and do that in the new year, because we have all our movies set up from now until January, all right? So next week, It's Alive is the last one we're going to do for the summer, right? And you notice instead of having 8 for the summer, we only had 4. Doc and I did a couple together. We did a couple apart, right? For us, it was a big relief because when the Doc did this week's show, I was actually at Viking camp the week before. And let me tell you, I had a blast, right? And so when you get an old fart going out to Viking camp, right? Like the first couple days, right? like your body's going and your body's going, yeah, I can do it, I can do it. Little sore at night. By the time you get to Wednesday, right? Like I was dead at the end of every day. And right, the heat index was like 105, 110. It was nuts, right? I lost 9 pounds, right? And yet I was eating like a beast because we actually have a semi-decent kitchen at camp, right? And then the kids and I, right, we got together and we did some bits, and we have a movie coming up in the fall called Cannibal Campout, right? And I got the boys to do some bits. No, we're not eating each other, right? I had some of the kids really getting into it a little much. I had to like pull them back, right? And I also did bits around camp. We had our camp-wide games this year, and this year they're Paul Bunyan games, so they became the Viking games, right? And it's like, throwing a 50-pound log and tug of war, all kinds of crazy stuff. They had a blast. And then we had what we call the Turtle Derby. Now, our camp, I don't know how they work, but we have the box turtles, right? And what they do is when we bring them in, right, what they do is they do something scientifically to mark them down so they know, and they track the turtles, migration, I don't know, their living habits, I don't know. But they actually do it scientific. It's not like we're picking turtles up and throwing them in like the Indy 500. Then they have a turtle derby. Basically, you take the 2 turtles, you put them in the middle of the circle. The one that runs out of the circle first wins, right? And we had a blast. It was just, we were calling them the shelled leviathans and things like that. And the kids enjoyed the heck out of it, right? So when that movie comes up, you will thoroughly enjoy that. That's going to be a solo for me. And then pretty much September, I think the doc and I already have Hell High in the can, right? So September 5th is going to be up. Then I believe after that is when I'm going to do a Cannibal Campout, and I'm not 100% sure. Then after that, right, Doc and I will get together and we have all our movies. We're going to do our movies for like October and September, October, and November. And then December, we have a boatload of fun movies, and I can't wait. Right, so last year we had one, right? Well, one Christmas movie. This year we have 4, and we're going to replay Santa Claus versus the Martians, which I love that movie. As stupid as that movie is, I love that movie. It's just, I don't know. It to me, it's the typical 1960s trying to like make a serious funny movie. And back then, all the monster movies were kind of like, hokey, like this one, like the one last week, like the one that's coming up this week, So it was, I'm looking forward to that, So, but the boss wanted me to get out there, all the cool things we got going on with WON Sports, right? So first of all, right, we have, we bring it up, the Boulders, right? So the Boulders are they're a minor league baseball team, and then we have a game tomorrow at 4 o'clock they're going to show. Then on Friday the 15th, that's why we're not on, right? The Boulders going to be on at 7 o'clock. Both, yep. And then they're going to be on Saturday the 30th, right, at 6:35. Now, the Boulders baseball, I believe the first game was last week, and I had it on. Great baseball. Oh, great minor league baseball. And competition was great. There was a couple of bombers, and oh my God, there was one bomber. I think, the way the minor league stadiums, right, they're not like, big stadiums, but this one actually went out and it was in the parking lot, So I'm looking forward to watching them. You guys will enjoy it coming up. We actually have a couple of football teams. One's the Red Raiders, right? They're a high school football team, and they play up in sort of like the upstate New York, right? And we're looking forward to them. They have always been a highly competitive team up there in the New York. I don't know what the league is called, but it's outside New York League, right? That's some great football I'm looking forward to, right? Then we got Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness, where is it? I don't have it on here. Right. Oh, Strathaven football. Where the heck? There we go. All right. Then we have, for all you Delco bars out there, we have Strathaven football, right? Now, Strathaven football, they are one of the premier teams in the Delco League. You guys know Delco. Delco is the township that is right, or the county, which is right outside of Philadelphia. Now, this league, right, and let me try to shorten that a little bit so we can all see it. Oh, my God. I am... Image. There we go. There's the schedule. Right now, if you look over here, where you see the 48 logo, those are the games we're going to carry, right? So we got a couple weeks. We got them playing Interborough, right? What a way to kick off the season. Interborough has been one of the better teams, and a friend of mine, I'm not sure if he's still the coach this year. His name was John Freilinger. Great guy, great coach, you know. Pencrest, and then the jewel of the Tri-Darby Kingdom, right? They're playing Upper Darby, right? Now, when they play Radnor and Haverford, right? We don't have them on, but then we go right back to when they have Harrington, Lower Marion, and Springfield. And Springfield, that will be one hell of a game because Springfield is always one of the powerhouses. I'm kind of bumming they're not playing Ridley this year, but that'll probably be one of the big playoff games because Ridley, again, is another powerhouse. These games, right, so if you are a Delco bar or restaurant, right, all you have to do is download on your Roku, the streaming on a budget app, and you can have all these games live at your bar this month. This season. So do yourself a favor, right? Hey, the tip from your buddy, the Mad Darbarian, right? I'm going to be drinking there anyway. You're that Dolan's, McGee's, right? Mikey's, right? You know, the Buck Tavern. The Buck Tavern. You better damn well have this game on, right? Because guess what? You have this game on, right? You're going to, not only are you going to have a boatload of people show up, because who wants to go to Strathaven, right, to watch a game? You know, that's just so far. It's really not. But wouldn't you rather be able to sit in your favorite bar, have some of the homemade popcorn and some of the stuff they make there, and an ice cold beverage? All right? So that's my pitch to all you people out there, right, that own restaurants and stuff like that. Do yourself a favor. Strap in and strap in and watch Strathaven every Friday night. Now, I could go into all the things we got coming up in September, October, November, December, right? I've covered that a ton of times, right? But something I just want to go over, right? At a lot of times that we got the movies we're getting, right? The next, probably from here to the end of the year, we have a great mix of shorts, independent movies, right? Public domain, right? And then actually other movies that John got contracts for, right? Which is spectacular. So we have a great variety, right? But all you independent filmmakers, don't forget us, right? Because we're going to be setting up the schedule for next year, probably in like October, November, right? And if you have a great independent movie, right, let us know, right? We're going to have Grotesque 2 coming up, right, with Elizabeth Chamberlain. If you guys are up in the Edmonton area, right, Edmonton, Alberta, she's starring at one of their major theaters plays, right, as Sandy in Grease. I predicted that when I interviewed her, all right? And, you know, I'm looking forward to, hopefully somebody records that and we can see that down here, you know. And I tell you, if I ever went on the road, I would be first in line to go see it. If she was playing down in the southeast Philadelphia, you know, southeast Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, I would love to do that. So Elizabeth, if you guys are going on the road, let us know. And if someone records it, let us know. I'd love to watch it, okay? But ton of independent movies, right? And then we have our Shorty Fest, right? So as of right now, right, we have like 8 shorty movies all set, right, to be able to, we're going to be starting the show, right? Tonight I'm going to at a local bar called Marty McGee's, and they're having an animated short special. I was talking with the guy that runs it today, right? Or yesterday, right? And at all the people that did are going to be there. One of the guys was from Ren and Stimpy, which I'm actually really looking forward to, right? Hopefully I can get those movies in our Shorty Fest, and then maybe as fillers as we go on, you know? Like you saw last night's movie, Johnny Rios did a lot of work, to help bolster up, because it was a movie that was only 80 minutes long. So that means we have 40 minutes, a whole third of our 2 hours that we got to fill in, right? And the doc did a bunch of skits, which were fantastic. Have you seen them? What I'm trying to do every day, right, is to take one of our skits or something from the movie the prior week or a movie we had on, right, and throw that in every day, right, just so you guys could see we're still out there, right? And do me a favor, tell a friend. Right, we got a lot of people that watch the show, right? And it would be fantastic if everybody told one person, right? We would probably have like 3 more people. No. But I mean, really, tell a friend, right? And then share some of our posts, right? Now the Doc and I both have our YouTube pages and our Instagrams and all that, right? Hey, follow us, sign up, we'll friend you, do whatever you want, right? But that way, it helps us grow. We've gone from 0 followers on our Instagram account, right, to over 2,500. And we did that within a few months. It was amazing. It was like all of a sudden, bang, we started getting a ton of hits, which is fantastic, right? And then the Doc and I, both on our independent channels, we've been growing pretty well, right? But we love to grow more because that's more people that we can put out there our own weirdo comedy. All right. So, all right. So, this is The Wake. This is me. And I got to get a drink. Notice the Cemetery Cinema, Mad Darbarian, Doc Dread, right? Cup. And you can get one of these cups now. And guys, don't forget, we have a store. Cemetery Cinema has a store. I have a store. The Doc has a store. You guys want to go buy stuff, right? Fantastic. We'd love to see you in it, right? The one shirt I got, I loved it, and then I wore it when I was smoking some brisket, and I got brisket grease all over it. So I have to order another, but that'll be coming in the mail soon. And I'll debut it here on The Wake. All right. So it's the Mad Darbarian for WON-TV, Cemetery Cinema, Brooklyn. See ya. Dude, stop recording.